You are now watching the WallGuru Wallpaper installation tutorial. This tutorial will guide you on how to install wallpapers and the precautions. So sit back, relax, and grab a popcorn cause today we'll be learning how to make walls beautiful again. First, let's take a look at some of the tools needed to install wallpaper. This is the WallGuru glue powder, the ingredient used to make wallpaper glue. This is a brush roller. We use it to spread the glue on the backside of the wallpaper. The tape measure is used to measure the size of the wall and the length of the wallpaper needed. The blade is for trimming the wallpaper. This is a laser line level, which we usually and casually call it the laser, used to set up straight lines to prevent crooked wallpapers. Even your grandma can do it with this. Wall putty blade is to remove any protrusions from the wall. And this is a bristle brush to sweep and discharge all the air pockets out through the wallpaper. A scraper is to make sure that the wallpaper is smoothened and flat. The roller is used to flatten the seams between the wallpapers. This is a syringe. When the glue in the wallpaper is insufficient, use it to inject and fill it up with glue. Sponge is to clean any traces of excessive glue. Remember to wet it beforehand. And this is the prop bag, the ladder, the bucket, and a water scoop. These are the tools you'll need to install wallpaper. And next, we'll move on to the next episode. Had your lunch yet? Are you ready? Let's go! Now, I'll demonstrate how to make wallpaper glue. Prepare 1 pack of WallGuru glue powder, a bucket, and 6 liters of water. Simply prepare 4 1.5-liter mineral water bottles, which is equivalent to 6 liters of water. Pour the water into the bucket and then open the WallGuru glue powder. Empty the powder into the water and start stirring by hand. Mix the powder in the water while stirring it slowly to prevent glue powder from coagulating in the water. After the glue powder is completely dissolved, continue to stir the glue for about 5 minutes. Do not, I repeat, do not use too much force during the mixing process. Otherwise, the glue will form air bubbles, which will, I repeat, will affect the subsequent process. Therefore, it is better to stir it in a steady pace. After stirring for 5 minutes, you can feel that the glue is beginning to solidify. You can stop and then leave it to settle for 30 minutes. Next, we move on to the next episode. Alright guys, are you ready? I am. Let's go! Before installing the wallpaper, we need to remove the furniture first, to ensure that there's enough space for the installation work. Be careful not to drag or pull while moving the furniture, or you'll scratch your customers' floors, and they will hate you for that. Try moving the furniture by just lifting it up and moving it to the side. Next, we need to check the condition of the wall. We must ensure that the wall is suitable for wallpaper installation. If you find any bumps on the wall, use a wall putty blade to remove it. And if you find a hole in the wall that is impractical, you can use a commercially available wall repair cream to fill it up. The walls must be flat and unblemished before installing the wallpaper. Lumpy walls, peeling walls, and damped walls are not suitable for wallpaper installation. After prepping the wall, the 4th episode will guide you on how to crop the wallpaper to size. Hello. Are you still with me or not? Alright? After ensuring that the wall is okay, you can now unbox your wallpaper. But before that, we need to measure the wall's width and the wall's height with a tape measure. The width of the wallpaper is 106 centimeters. So every 106 centimeters on the wall should be marked to indicate the width of the wallpaper. Note that the first panel on the wall must be 103 centimeters in width. This is to reserve some margin to ensure that the wallpaper can completely cover the side. When measuring the height of the wall, it must be increased by 10 centimeters. For example, if the height of this wall is 282 centimeters, we must use 292 centimeters as a guide. Remember that, it's really important. Now comes the fun bit. Before unboxing the wallpaper, make sure that the model code on the wallpaper label is the same. And also check if there's a pattern matching icon. You'll need to know that for sure. And just for your information, by the way, in this tutorial, we will use a wallpaper without pattern matching. First, pull the tape to the measured height of the wall, which is 292 centimeters in this case. And then pull the wallpaper apart. Align to the length of the tape and then trim it. This will ensure that the height of the wallpaper and the length of the tape measure is the same. After getting the first panel correct, the other panels of wallpaper can be cropped with the reference to the length of the first sheet. Cut the applicable sheets of wallpaper, and ladies and gentlemen, you're now done. After the wallpaper is ready, the 5th episode will guide you on how to apply glue onto the wallpaper. Hang on there, buddy. If you're about to sleep, pause the video here, go take a nap, and come back for the next episode. We will now start applying glue to the back of the wallpaper. The back. Yeah, the back. Turn the wallpaper over. Then stack the wallpaper next to a cloth or mat to ensure that the glue does not seep into the floor when the glue is applied. You wouldn't want to make a mess, don't ya? Place a scoop of glue on the backside of the wallpaper, then use a roller to spread the glue across the wallpaper. First, we start by applying the glue from the sides, then we spread it into the center. Please note that when applying glue, we must apply downward force to ensure that the glue is not too thick and applied evenly onto the wallpaper. After that, we fold the wallpaper. Fold 5 centimeters inwards. Pull it back and then fold it down. Align to the side of the wallpaper. Repeat this procedure until the wallpaper is all covered up. The purpose of this is to prevent the glue from drying when coming in contact with air. The folded wallpaper can be set aside for now. After applying the glue, remember to wipe off any glue residue on the floor with a damp sponge, as not to stain the customer's flooring. He's gonna hate you for that. The leftover glue can be used for the next wall. The glue mixture has a shelf life of 4 days only, so please refrain from using it for more than 4 days. The 6th episode will demonstrate how to paste wallpaper onto the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come this far. I know you are tired, so am I, but soldier on! We are close to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we are ready to install the wallpaper. First, set the laser line level, and then point the laser to the marked point on the wall. We start by installing the second panel, so that the next steps will be way simpler and without mistakes. Carefully climb up the stairs. Hold the wallpaper and then let the pleated wallpaper unfold from top to bottom. Note that the wallpaper must be held between the thumb and the fist to ensure that the wallpaper does not tear and break. Start from the top. Remember to leave a margin on top. Then secure the middle part and start pushing the air out from bottom up with a brush. Do not leave any air pockets in the wallpaper. Use a scraper and a blade to cut off the excess wallpaper. Make sure it's enough to cover the sides seamlessly. And then, use a wet sponge to clean off traces of excess glue. Continue with the lower half and brush from top to bottom to remove air pockets. If there's a switch socket on the wall, first, cut a hole in position on the wallpaper. Use a scraper to tightly seal the sides and cut off the excess part with a blade. Use a scraper and a blade to cut off the excess wallpaper. Make sure it's enough to cover the sides seamlessly. And then use a wet sponge to clean off traces of excess glue. After the first panel is up, we continue by installing the panel next to it. The previous panel has already left a straight border, so we can put the laser away and paste the next panel from top to bottom along the border.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention to the connecting seams.
After putting up the wallpaper next to it, use the roller to flatten the splicing line and wipe off excess glue with a wet sponge. This ensures that the seam is neat and there is no air pocket inside. Repeat the steps to install the next wallpaper panels. The balanced wallpaper on both sides should be cut off with a blade and a scraper to ensure that it is aligned to the edge, and then using a wet sponge to clean off the excess glue. The next episode will demonstrate how to run through a final check after installation. After the wallpaper is installed, you must confirm that it is flattened. If it is found lumpy, it should be taken care of immediately. And if there is too much glue, use a scraper to spread the glue out evenly. And if it has air pockets, you can use a needle to break the bubbles, and then smoothen the wallpaper with a scraper. If the glue is not enough, fill the syringe with glue, inject the glue into the wallpaper, and then flatten it out with a scraper. After the installation is complete, remember to tidy up the trimmed wallpaper. Clean the glue residue with a damp sponge and then only rearrange the furniture into its original position. Episode 8 will demonstrate on how to remove the wallpaper. If the wall already has wallpaper installed, we must first remove the old wallpaper before installing the new one. Wallpaper has 2 layers. It is divided into 2 steps for the removal process. The first step is to tear off the first layer of wallpaper. The second step is to wet the inner layer of the wallpaper. Boy, any water sprayer will do, The second layer of wallpaper will come off after dampened. Then we can easily peel off the wallpaper. After peeling it off, the wallpaper will be completely separated from the wall. Note that we must separate the wetting process into several parts. We are to peel off the wallpaper's inner layer while it is still damp. Do not spray water around the sockets, or you will short out your customer's house and might even start a fire, and eventually a war. We can always wipe it off with a damp sponge. After all, it will come off easily. After removing the wallpaper, we must also clean the work area and dispose the unwanted scraps into a garbage bag. And there you have it. It's not as hard as you think. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.